Hey, it's Ben Wise from ZOAR Fitness, and this is the name game. Workout number 26 is 8. So this is actually the second workout of the weekend. So if you haven't seen that first announcement, I would highly recommend going and watching that first one, unless I'm just giving you exclusively this workout, then you can obviously just watch it. But for people who are doing this when it's actually announced, go check out the first workout. I'll link to it below, and I'll probably put up a card as well. I'd recommend doing that workout first, maybe on a Friday, and then doing this workout on Saturday as a second event. Again, we're just doing this because in the event of a dual workout for like a 2 workout weekend for the 2021 CrossFit Open, I think it's possible, totally possible that it could happen. We're preparing for it in case it does happen. This workout is 8. So it is 8 rounds for time with an 8-minute time cap. The idea is that for a pretty good athlete, they're gonna be really struggling to just get under that time cap, and it's gonna be really hard to do that. So it's kind of an incentive for a lot of people. But 8 rounds for time, 8-minute cap, 8 burpee broad jump, 6 feet for males, 4 feet for females. We'll talk more about that in a second. And then 8 single arm dumbbell thrusters, 50 pounds for males, 35 for females. So the burpee broad jump standard, you have 2 tape lines. Those lines are 6 feet apart for males, 4 feet apart for females. Your toes must be behind that line when you take off. It's a 2-foot takeoff. When you do that, your toes have to be behind that line when you take off. Your heels must cross that line and cannot touch that line when you land. So if you land on the line or your toes are touching the line when you jump, either one of those is a no rep. And you have to be hard on yourself. So either have a judge do this for you, or make sure that you're like sort of catching it out of the corner of your eye and making sure that you're actually no repping yourself if you don't get over the line. So toes behind, heels in front, that is the standard for the burpee broad jump. Obviously for the burpee, you just have to touch your chest to the ground. The single arm thrusters, hip crease below the knee, it's kind of the standard squat depth, and then you got to be stacked overhead. So wrist, elbow, shoulder, all in one line up over your head. You can't be out to the side, like everything's got to be stacked nice and pretty and locked out. The other thing with a thruster that the workout didn't particularly mention is that you can switch hands as you please in the workout. I'd recommend one of 2 strategies, either going 4 and 4, so like 4 on your left, 4 on your right, or just doing all 8 reps in round 1 on your right, all 8 reps in round 2 on your left, and just going back and forth. I use that as a way to help me stay focused. So I'll always do the odd reps with my weak, or like the odd rounds in this case, with my weak arm, because it feels odd and helps me remind me of that. So odd is always 1, and then even, which is feeling normal, is always 2, and that just helps me keep track of the rounds. It's a little fun fact. So let's get into equipment setup first. Equipment setup. I would put the dumbbell sort of like on the second line, or whatever line the first line. So it's an even number of burpee broad jumps every time. So it's 8 each round. So you're always going to come back to that line. So it'll be like odds will always be like on the far side, evens will always be on the close side. You'll do 8 and finish on the close side. So put your dumbbell right there. So you can do your 8 thrusters, and then you can go straight back down to the burpee broad jumps. Once again, 8. That's pretty simple. Put your dumbbell far enough out of the way where it's not in your way. That's pretty self-explanatory. Let's get into some of the workout thoughts and logistics and strategy pieces. The biggest thing that's an unknown for pretty much everybody doing this workout is the burpee broad jump. Something that is done in other forms of fitness quite a bit that I've seen standardized, but not in CrossFit. So biggest thing here is a new movement to most of you. However, you have to be efficient at it because this is a test. Again, we're prepping for the open, so that's the whole idea. Like, treat this like an open test. Do everything that you can to maximize and learn about the movement, to try to think your way through it, to be able to rehearse it to the degree that you can, so that when you actually go to test for the first time, you can maximize that first test. So overall thoughts on it. Again, no reps are going to be super costly, and I want you to count yourself. If you're doing a no rep, count it as a no rep. However, that being said, try to limit those the most that you can, because doing a burpee and jumping 6 feet or 4 feet to just get no rep, there's a lot of energy spent on that. Sorry, a standard I forgot to mention is that you can step up in your burpee. Obviously you have to jump the broad jump, but you can step up the burpee. So you can step up to the line, but then you have to jump over the line. So I would probably recommend doing that for someone who feels comfortable doing that. Whenever that's a standard, I would highly recommend doing that. So stepping up to the line and then jumping over the line. I would minimize that extra little stutter step. So oftentimes people do like that lunge step to get up, and then they take another little stutter step to get up as close as they can to the line. Try to minimize that, where you're taking like lunging, bringing that other foot up right up to the line, and then going straight into your jump and allowing your momentum to sort of carry you over. Another thing to think about is this is a lot of plyometrics. So in other words, you're jumping 64 times in this workout if you finish it in a very dense period. So there's a big potential for you to get kind of sore and blown up from this. Particularly quads and triceps are two things that I think are going to be a big impact. I think core could play a role as well, but really quads, triceps are the bigger points here. So make sure you're warming those up properly, that you got your positions ready, that you got good blood flow in those areas before you actually get into it. Obviously that's in part my job as well, because I'm writing the warm up, so that'll be in that aspect taken care of. But besides that, there's just gonna be a lot of people breathing really hard in this workout, and that's sort of the idea. So 2 reasons I picked this workout. Number 1, because it's replicating open intensity for sure. It's a 8-minute workout at most. I mean, you get capped at 8 minutes if you're not done yet. So it's very high power output, like jumping, thrusters. These are high output movements. You're going to, like, there's nowhere to hide in this workout for sure. The other reason I chose it is because it's a new movement that would potentially be added to a testing body that is new for every single person. Like, I know everybody doing this video probably hasn't done burpee broad jumps before. If you have, it's probably like one time in a workout. So it's not something that you spend a lot of time getting used to and really maximizing your economy and efficiency in that movement. So that's sort of the idea behind these two. People who are doing the protocol, my one-on-one athletes, you know where to find this workout. Everybody else, there's a full warm-up and cool down in the comments below, and you can get a 7-day free trial of the protocol if you go to zoarfitness.com/pro-trial. I hope you check it out.